Hello guys, my name is Craig and welcome to Craig Solutions. In today's video, we're going to talk about arithmetic progressions. But before we start, please make sure that if you're new to my channel, you hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any new videos. So to start off, we shall define the term arithmetic progression, right? So in arithmetic progression, this is a sequence that has a common difference between each term. So for example, if we look at these two these two sequences. So for the first one, we've got 1, 4, 7, 10. But what do we see in terms of the common difference between each of the terms? So between the first term and second term, right, we see that there's a difference of 3. And between third term and second term, there's a difference of 3. Between the third term and fourth term, there's a difference of 3. So as we can see, there's a common difference of 3, right? And same with the second sequence, right? Here the common difference is a minus 4, and then minus 4. So common difference of minus 4. So these are what we call arithmetic progressions, right? So there are certain specific letters that are used when denoting arithmetic progressions or when talking about arithmetic progressions. So firstly, the letter A is used to identify or is used to represent the first term, right? First term, and the letter D is used to denote the common difference, right? Common difference, yeah, like that. And then the letter L is used to denote the last term like that. And UN is used to denote the nth term like that, right? So the nth term of an arithmetic progression, right? Nth term of an arithmetic progression is given by a plus n minus 1 multiplied by a d, right? And this general formula can help us find any term of an arithmetic progression. So if you want to find the first term, we know this when n is equal to 1, that will be just 1 minus 1 to give us a 0. A plus 0, that will give us an A. Second term, this is when n is equal to 2. So 2 minus 1, that's a 1. And that's A plus D, right? So basically, if you were to come up with an arithmetic progression with n terms, it will be something like A, then A plus D, A plus 2D, A plus 3D. Then you've got that, then you've got A plus n minus 1 times D. So saying this is the first term A, first term, second term, third term, fourth term, nth term. So like I said, this formula, it helps us find any term. So if we need to come up with the 20th term, which is U20, this would be A plus 20 minus 1, this is 19. So 20 plus 19D like this, right? So this is the general formula that we use for the nth term of an arithmetic progression. And then now for finding the sum of n terms, we've got two formulae that we use, right? So the first one, for the sum Sn, we say 1 over 2 multiplied by n, 1 over 2n multiplied by a plus l. And remember, L is the last term, A is the first term, and N is the number of terms, right? So, O, we can say 1 over 2N, right, multiplied by 2A plus N minus 1 times D, right? Whereby A is the first term, D is the common difference, and N is the number of terms. So now I'd like to quickly attempt these 6 questions. So allow me to erase this part here. And this as well. And that as well. Okay. So for the first part, for number one says the 9th term of an AP is 8, and the 4th term is 18, right? So find the first term and the common difference. So what did we say? We say that the nth term of an AP, this is for number 1, the nth term of an AP UN is equal to A plus N minus 1 times D. So this implies that the 9th term is a plus 8d, right? And I told this is equal to 9, right? And the fourth term, which would be a plus 3d, we're told is equal to 18, right? So I told you to find the first term and the common difference. First term is a, common difference is d, right? So if we were to solve these two equations simultaneously, those two equations simultaneously, of course by elimination here, we'll say that 5d is equal to 9 minus 18, which will be what? Wait, subtract here. That is equal to 9, that is equal to 18, okay? Yeah. So if we solve by elimination, yeah, they say 8d minus 3d, we get a 5d, and 9 minus 18, we get a minus 9, right? Such that the common difference is a minus 9 over 5, d is equal to minus 9 over 5, right? And then a would be now equal to 18 minus 3 times minus 9 over 5, like this, which is 18 plus 27 over 5. And this should be equal to 27 over 5. You see? 18, we're saying 18 plus 27 over 5. That will give us an answer of 23.4, right? So 23.4 will be 23.4 is the first term A, so this is U1 first term, and the common difference minus 9 over 5. Then I'm moving on to number 2. In an AP arithmetic progression, right, short for arithmetic progression, AP, the 8th term is 39 and the 4th term is 19. So we'll say find the first term and the sum of the first 12 terms, right? So what can you do here, right? For number 2, so that was number 1. Number 2, the 8th term, that will be a plus 7d, right? And then that is equal to 39. Then the 4th term, that's a plus 3d, that is equal to 19, right? So solving this simultaneously, we're saying 7d minus 3d, we get a 4d, right? And 39 minus 19, we get a 20. Such that d is equal to 5. And of course, a would be equal to 90 minus 3 times 5, which is 90 minus 15 to give us 4. So first term is equal to 4. Now the sum of the first 12 terms. What we could do from the two formulae that we talked about for finding the sum of an arithmetic progression, we could use Sn is equal to 1 over 2n multiplied by a plus l. But now this one requires us to find the last term, yeah? So the last term, if the total number of terms, we've got 12 terms, we're saying u12 is a plus 11d, and our a, we know that's 4, plus 11 times d5, so 55 plus 4 is 59. Such that the sum of the first 12 terms would be 1 over 2 times 12 times a, which is 4 plus 59, right? This will be 6 multiplied by 63, and this would be what? 8, 1, and 37. So 378. This would be the sum of the first 12 terms, and the first term, which is a, would be equal to 4. Yeah, 4 it is. So now let me erase this. Let's then move on to number 3. Okay. Okay, so number 3 says in an arithmetic progression, the 8th term is twice the 4th term and the 20th term is 40. Find the common difference d and the sum of the first 10 terms. Right. So for number 3, what do we know? We know that the 8th term shall be a plus 7d, right, like that. And this 8th term, u8 being the 8th term, is twice the 4th term, u4. So a plus 7d is equal to 2 times a plus 3d, like this. and the 20th term, right, u20 is equal to 40, right? So here, if we simplify, we've got a plus 7d is equal to 2a plus 6d, right? And taking this side and this side, we're saying 7d minus 6d, that's a d, being equal to 2a minus an a, that's an a. So a is equal to d, right? And 20th term being equal to 40, that's a plus 19d is equal to 40. And since a is equal to d, right, we've got a plus 19a to give us 20a is equal to 40, and then a would be equal to 2. So that's the first term, but we're required to find the common difference d. So, and as well, if d is equal to a, then therefore d is equal to 2. So the common difference is 2, and now the sum of the first 10 terms, right? Now we can also use the same formula to say Sn is equal to half n multiplied by a plus l, right? A being the first term, L being the last term. But now for 10 terms, we need to find the last term, u10, which is a plus 9d. So we're saying our a is 2 plus 9 times, what is it again? D being 2. So 2 plus 18, that's 20. So therefore we're saying sum of the first 10 terms would be half times 10 multiplied by the first term 2 plus the last term 20, which is 5 times 22. So that's 5 times 22 to give us 0, 1, 110. So 110 would be the sum of the first 10 terms, and the common difference would be equal to 2. So now let's move on to number 4. So allow me to erase this part here. Right. So now number 4 says in an arithmetic progression, right? Number 4 says in an AP, the sum of the first term and the fifth term is 18. So we're saying a being the first term plus a plus 4d being the fifth term, this is equal to 18, right? And the fifth term is 6 more than the third term. So we're saying u5, which we can decide to write as a plus 4d, is 6 times more than the third term. Third term being a plus 2d, right? From this general formula for finding any term of an arithmetic progression. So now we're required to find the sum of the first 12 terms. So now simplifying this, we've got 2a plus 4d is equal to 18, which you can break down to get a plus 2d is equal to 9. So let's label this equation 1. And now for that one, we've got a plus 4d is equal to 6a plus 12d, right? And of course, taking this side and this side, this side, this. What do we have? We see here, that's number 4, okay? So we got 6a minus a to get a 5a, 5a being equal to 12a minus 4d, sorry, 4d minus 12d gives us a minus 8d, like this. Then we can label this equation 2, like this, correct? I suppose. So now solving for the unknowns a and d simultaneously, here we can come up with a substitution, right? That a is equal to 9 minus 2d. So minus 8d is equal to 5 multiplied by 9 minus 2d. And minus 8d would be equal to 45 minus 10d, right? So now if you take this aside, we get 10d minus 8d is equal to 45. So it's that 2d is equal to 45 and d is equal to 45 over 2, right? And now solving for a, we shall say a would be equal to 9 minus 2 times 45 over 2, right? This and this cancelling, we've got 9 minus 45 to give us minus 36. So the first term will be minus 36. Common difference being equal to 45 over 2. So now question is, find the sum of the first 12 terms. So now I'd rather just use n over 2, right, 2a plus n minus 1 multiplied by d. So we're saying 12 terms, this way n is equal to 12. So that's 12 over 2 multiplied by 2 times minus 36, then plus 11 times d, which is 45 over 2, like this. And this would give us what? It would give us 45 over 2 times 11, right, minus 2 times 36, and then times 6. So that would give us 1053. So this will be 1053, 1053. So this would be the sum of the first 12 terms, right? And then now let's move on to number 5. So allow me to erase this part here. All right. Okay, so now moving on to number 5. Number 5 says find the sum of the first 30 terms of an AP, right? Of the AP 2 minus 5 minus 12, 19, right? So we need, what do we need, right? What we definitely need is to come up with the first term and probably the last term, right? 30 terms, we need the 30th term, right? So U30 would be A plus 29D, 29D, right? Let me put my 2 properly here, 29D, right? But what is the common difference? Common difference will be minus 5 minus 2, which is minus 7. And the first term, A being 2. So 2 plus 29 times minus 7. This should give us the last term, which would be 29 times minus 7. And then plus 2, that is equal to minus 201. 201, so minus 201, such that the sum of the first 30 terms would be equal to n over 2, 30 over 2, a, which is 2, plus l, which is minus 211, sorry, 201. So this moves like 15 multiplied by 2 minus 201. That will give us minus 2,985. So this will be minus 2,985. This will be the sum of the first 30 terms of this AP. And then now for number 6, the 20th term of an AP is minus 41. So we're saying A plus 4D, sorry. So we're saying A, 20th term will be A plus 19D is equal to minus 41, right? And the sum of the first 20th term is 20 is equal to minus 444. We got the sum of the first 10 terms, right? So this is now for number 6. Now for number 6, what are we saying there? Sum of the first 20 terms is this, but we also know the 20th term, right? So now this becomes very easy. We know the 20th term, we know the sum of the first 20 terms. So S20 being equal to n over 2, a plus l, we can calculate the first term, right? Because n is 20 over 2, then a plus l, l the last term, l the last term, which is the 20th term, is minus 41. So plus minus 41 will be minus 41, right? And this is equal to minus 140, like this. So minus 140 is equal to 10 a minus 41, and dividing both sides by 10, minus 44 is equal to a minus 41, and a is equal to minus 44 plus 41, which is minus 3. So minus 3 is the first term. And then now to find the sum of the first 10 terms, right? What else do we now need? So we can even use this to find the common difference, right? And now for the common difference d, we're saying 19d is equal to minus 41 minus a, right? Then we see that there's a minus already. So this is minus 41 plus 3, which will give us a minus 38. 38, and d would be minus 2. So there's the common difference, such that the 10th term, u10 in actual fact, which is a plus 9b, would be equal to first term minus 3 plus 9 times minus 2, that's minus 18, like this, which will give us minus 21. So minus 21 is the 10th term, and therefore the sum of the first 10 terms would be n over 2, which is 10 over 2 first term minus 3 minus 21. Alright. And this would be 5 times minus 24 to give us minus 120. So minus 120 will be the sum of the first 10 terms. Okay, so this was looking at arithmetic progressions, and please feel free to leave a comment, drop a like, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.